Hi, everyone. Welcome to our lesson on the Sixth and Seventh Amendments. These amendments mirror one another. They have similar rights and protections to one another, except they deal with different types of trial. Both of these amendments reflect on all of your rights if you are on trial. The sixth reflects on if you are being prosecuted by the government in a criminal trial, and the seventh reflects if you are either suing or being sued by someone for damages, another citizen in a civil trial. So let's take a look at our objectives for this unit. First, you should be able to explain the difference between a criminal and civil trial, which after 12 Angry Men and our fairy tale mock trials, I am sure that you're already experts on. I also want you to reflect and explain the importance of the right of legal representation, the right to have an attorney, an expert on the law, there with you. And lastly, continuing our discussion from 12 Angry Men, reflect on the role of the trial by jury system, especially in our democratic society. So, what are your rights within these two amendments? Well, first, if you're on trial, whether it's a criminal trial or a civil trial, you have a right to a speedy trial. Especially if you're accused of breaking the law, you have a right to have your case settled. In a lot of ways, if you are accused of being a criminal, if you're accused of breaking the law, your life is put in limbo until this issue is resolved. So you have a right to a quick and speedy trial. You have the right to a fair and impartial jury of your peers. Typical jury consists of 12 citizens from the area in which you are accused, if it's a criminal trial, or the area in which the civil trial is taking place. That jury has to treat you as being innocent until proven guilty, and has to put the burden of proof on the government. The government has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt to that jury that you are guilty in order for you to lose your freedom or in order for you to have to pay damages in the civil trial. That jury also has to make its decision unanimously, meaning that 12 out of 12 people had to be convinced that you broke the law in order for you to be incarcerated or fined or for you to have to pay damages within a civil trial. Both in a criminal and a civil trial, you have the right to legal representation. You have the right to an attorney, a lawyer. If you can't afford a lawyer, the government must provide a free counsel for you. You have the right to a lawyer no matter how rich, how poor you are. You have the right to legal representation. No matter how smart you are, none of us are truly experts in every area of the law. In order to make sure that our rights are being fully protected, we have the right to find and hire somebody who is an expert, who will be able to guide us on how to best prove our innocence and to make our case for us. You have the right, if you'd like, to be your own attorney. But as the old saying goes, the man who represents himself as an attorney has a fool for a client. So you do that at your own risk. Also, a district attorney who is provided for by the government isn't, you're not their only client. Where they have to go and manage probably multiple cases, but they still have to represent you to the best of their ability. Lastly, you have the right to be informed of all charges brought up against you. You can't be locked away without knowing what you're being locked away for. You can't be put on trial without knowing what you're being on trial for. And the burden of proof, once again, falls upon the government. The government has to prove that you are guilty. So in order to do that, the government has to bring witnesses, has to bring evidence against you to make their case. You have the right to know who all these witnesses are, to question their evidence, and once again to bring your own witnesses and your own evidence to make your own case. So now to our essential question. Once again, reflecting on the Miranda warning, where the police have to inform you of your rights when you're being arrested or going to be questioned. So if you're being investigated of a crime, the police have to inform you that you have a right to an attorney, that if you can't afford one, one will be provided for you. So similarly to our Fifth Amendment question, if you're being investigated for a disciplinary matter, if you're being questioned, should the teacher or principal in the school, the government for all intents and purposes, be required to inform you that you have the right to representation? And if you don't think that they should have to do that, why? Why should you not be protected by your due process rights, your Sixth Amendment rights within this situation? And if you say yes, you should, well, then who should that representation be? Should it be your parent? Should it be a lawyer? Interesting question. So I'm looking forward to hearing your input in class and seeing your answers in your journal. Thanks for watching. This concludes the Sixth and Seventh Amendment video.